the host of Sports Roundtable, Bob Barenko.
Thank you once again, Frank Smith, for that wonderful introduction. And also thank you for working behind the scenes. Wonderful job that you always do for us here at Sports Roundtable. Same goes for Sean Souza, Director of Sports Roundtable. Thank you for working behind the scenes today. This is Tuesday, January 19th, Election Day here in Massachusetts. If you haven't voted, wait till the show is over, then you go vote. Because you do have one more hour to vote after Sports Roundtable is over. So it's not like you got to rush out and vote. The polls close at 8 o'clock here in New Bedford. My name is Bob Branco for Tuesday, January 19th, 2010. With me this evening, all by himself, Mr. Joe Moreo, because Steve Virgo will not be with us this evening.
It's a pleasure.
Joe. Welcome, Joe. And what I always say is, if you're watching the show from Dartmouth, do not call, because you won't get a live person. If you're watching from New Bedford, it is live. You can call 508-979-1600. But if you are watching from Dartmouth, take the phone number down and give us a call on Tuesday night. We have heard from Dartmouth residents, which is a good thing. That means that some people have a lot to say, and they take the number down, and then they call us.
Good.
And I think we have a call. Do we?
Sorry. We have a mystery guest on line one.
A mystery guest. Are we supposed to figure out who it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. Good evening. Welcome to Sports Roundtable.
Good evening, Mr. Branco.
I told Joe Arthur would be the guy.
You hit it right on the money. And I would like to begin by saying Jets, 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 Jets.
Right there.
Now that
Get a close up there, Sean.
Now that I have said that, I would like to speak to that Patriots Yahoo fan who last week told me that we were going to lose by 3 touchdowns. Is he there this evening?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
I knew he wouldn't have to show up.
Well, he had something else to do.
Yes, cry.
That's it.
But, Arthur, I'm going to say this, though, for your benefit, because you're not going to watch. I know that my directors behind the scenes won't expect me to do this right now, but for your benefit, I'm going to, because it's a good segue. We're not going to do predictions for another few minutes, but I'm going to tell you, because you can't watch right now, Steve has picked the Jets.
Who picked the Jets?
Steve.
Oh!
He's going to pick the Jets.
He knows a winner.
So whatever he said last week, disregard it.
Oh,
because
okay.
Here's what Steve said, Arthur. He said that
one of those guys.
He said that he is on a roll, going the other way. He's 1 win and 7 losses so far in the playoffs.
So you know what he wants to do?
He wants to lose again.
Right.
That's why he picked the Jets.
Don't pick him. I don't want him to pick the Jets. I want him to go against the Jets.
That's correct.
And I want everybody else to go against them too, so we can gloat all alone.
Well, I've been gloating all along.
Attaboy.
What else?
And when we win the Super Bowl, we'll gloat even more.
That is correct. Mr. Branco, who do you pick Sunday?
I pick Indy and Minnesota.
Oh.
You pick Minnesota?
Yep.
It's in the bank. Thank you.
That's in the bank.
And obviously you picked the Colts, correct?
Right.
I picked the Colts.
We're home free. He's been wrong every week picking against the Jets.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine. It'll catch up.
It sure will.
What did you think of the game?
Joe?
Me? I think it's going to be a very good game, just like this past week.
I think he's asking you about last week.
Oh, last week I thought it was a good game.
Did you listen to the CBS commentators at halftime what Boomer Esiason said? When the score was 7-0, he said the Jets have the Chargers right where they want them. Remember?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And he had it right on the money.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Who is that tight end that's going to play with a broken hand, Arthur? He's going to have a pin in his hand, and then he's going to have surgery after the season's over.
Isn't it Cartry?
I forgot his name. No.
What team?
The Jets.
Dustin Keller?
He broke his hand or something, and he needs surgery, but he's going to play Sunday with a pin.
If you can walk, Ryan's putting you on the field.
That's it.
We have the best defense in the NFL. Just remember that.
Yeah. That's right.
Barring none.
That's right.
And now they're showing it for a change.
That's right.
Well, I know you've got other callers coming in, so I just thought I'd call and give you my 2 cents.
That's okay, Arthur. We appreciate it, buddy.
I heard you say that you can watch in Dartmouth. How?
On Thursdays.
Oh, yeah, but you can't call on Thursday,
No,
though.
No,
you'll
but
be watching this program Thursday.
Right.
That's
So
right. Okay,
was-
hasn't changed.
see,
Okay.
I was
Have a
speaking-
good week, gentlemen, and I'll call you next Tuesday after the Jets are in the Super Bowl.
You got it, buddy.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
Arthur. See, I was speaking to the Dartmouth audience,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
who won't hear me tonight, but they'll hear me when it's on. See, that sounds a little bit confusing to explain, but when you're live on one day and taped for
And
another
take to
day,
another day, yeah.
you have to figure out a way to say it where it makes a lot of sense to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
508-979-1600. If we don't have any phone calls out there waiting for us to answer, maybe we can do the predictions.
Do our predictions.
I am going to act as Steve's proxy tonight because he can't be here, and he gave me his picks earlier today on the phone.
That's wonderful.
So I'm going to start with his as soon as Frank comes in with the chart. Or
Frank is miking up now, so
right. Well,
just give him a minute.
While Frank is miking up, I'll just spend a couple of minutes talking about the Branco Softball League. We had a very successful coaches meeting last night, and it appears right now that we have 12 teams coming into the league as we speak. Now, that could change any minute. We know how it is. But for the moment, the way things are going and percolating at the moment, we may have 12 teams, which we've never had 12 teams in this league's lifetime. When we started out, we had 3. Then the next year, we went up to 6. Then in 08, we had 8. In 09, we had 9. This year, conceivably, we could have 12 teams. And maybe somebody out there who's watching this program can tell us if there's a decent ball field that they would recommend for us to be on, or a park, which has 2 available fields on it, or we could use the lights after a certain time.
One field with light.
2 available softball fields.
2 available softball fields, right, because I want to be able to schedule 12 teams where half the teams play twice and half the teams play once a week. And the only way to do that is to have about 9 or 10 games a week. And I don't think I can do that with 1 field permit.
No,
Unless we double up or have extra double headers, as long as lights are on. So maybe there's somebody watching this show that can help us out. We would appreciate your input. And John Burgo, if you're listening, we're publicly offering for you to umpire this year, along with Joe, if you're interested. Because you are an outsider, you are not a league member. I'd rather have objective people umpiring rather than having people within the teams do it, because that's a little bit biased at times.
right.
Frank, are you ready?
I am indeed, sir.
We
All
are
right.
ready.
Well, now, do you want us to predict first, or do you want to go over the standings?
No, let's go over the standings.
Let's read the tea leaves after we read the old news.
All right, so
To recap for the audience, we heavily favored the losers this week.
from what I hear, you're right.
We had three votes for Baltimore over Indiana, and only 2 for Indiana. We know how that went. San Diego drew 4 votes. The New York Jets just 1.
And he's sitting right here.
Faithful.
Sitting right there.
Faithful Joe.
That's all they needed. Was that
That's
one?
all my faith.
In the NFC, we were equally bad,
Yeah,
voting 4 times for Arizona.
yeah.
And only once for New Orleans.
Steve Burgo, the only smart one.
Sole correct pick so
Yeah.
far in this tournament.
Right.
And finally, we voted 3-2 for Dallas, and Minnesota made fools of us at last.
Yeah.
Now, shall we look at the standings?
Why don't we do that? Let's see how good we are. Let's see how we're placing so far.